So, recently, I encountered a monster called Deviljho, also known as Pickle by the community. You guys were all like, Pickle, 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 Pickle! And so I spent some time running around searching for this infamous Pickle. And did actually manage to find it. And I think I ran away screaming like a baby. What the f*** is that? Oh my... No! Leave me alone! Oh God! That's terrifying! But I also heard that there's a debate within the community about whether or not this monster eats its own tail. So I have a video I want to watch today that talks about the Pickle conspiracy. Dun dun dun.
Monster Hunter is a series that has been around since all the way back in 2004. Over the last 18 years, there have been many mysteries within the ethos of Monster Hunter. What is the equal dragon weapon? Do you really get extra luck when petting Poogie? And most importantly, where—
Yes, you do get extra luck when petting Poogie. You get extra love luck. You get extra luck with the love in your life. So if you're looking for love in your life, pet Poogie.
Where is his Dragonator? But nothing is as shocking and deceitful than a conspiracy that has been perpetuated for more than a decade. Something that has been ingrained in the minds of countless hunters, never to be questioned. So real and so vivid to them that they scoff at the mere thought that this was merely a hoax. And why is that? And what is this conspiracy? Well, before I answer those questions, listen to this expert from an official Capcom video posted on their channel that goes over meeting the Deviljho.
He will eat your poisonous meat. He will eat other monsters that are dead. He will eat captured monsters. He will eat his own tail. Wow.
Oh, see, it says it. He will eat his own tail. It actually says it. And he's mad. That is one mad, mad, mad Deviljho Pickle.
You heard him correctly. Stating to the masses that Deviljho eats his own tail. Interesting to note that there is no footage of him eating his tail within this video, however.
Can I say that he goes like bright red? Oh my goodness.
This video, along with many others, would contribute to the grand farce that will be unraveled in this video. If you are hearing Deviljho eats his own tail from a source belonging to the company who made the game, well honestly, you're gonna believe it. Well, hearing that something is true is one thing, but seeing it is something else entirely. So you're probably asking, if so many people believe this rumor, they must have seen it happen. There must be some footage of Deviljho eating his own tail. Well, there is, but that's the problem. Take a look at Exhibit A. You are watching Monster Hunter Tribe being played on a television recorded on a camera.
Hang on. I'm thinking for a second here. My brain is moving. The gears are turning. Do you have to see him eat his own tail for him to eat his own tail? Maybe he likes to eat his own tail in private. Maybe he doesn't want to eat it in public. Maybe he eats it while you're off screen. Do you actually need to see him eat his own tail? If Capcom themselves say he eats his own tail, then he eats his own tail. Maybe he's just so ragey and hungry that he's like, must eat own tail. I don't think you need to see it for it to be true. That makes me question a lot about the universe.
Camera. Believe it or not, back in the day, this kind of recording setup was quite common. More importantly, take a look at Deviljho. As you can see here, he's eating his own tail. Interesting. And in your example, Exhibit B, a video from someone posted on the Monster Hunter subreddit, upvoted for thousands of likes, seemingly ending this great—
Deviljho noms on its own tail! I don't know why noms made me laugh in this context.
Great debate. He's eating it right there. Wow. Well, it seems like the tail mystery's put to rest. We have definitive proof now. Oh wait, no we don't. In Exhibit A, we can see tainted meat underneath the tail. Deviljho eats this meat whenever he's hungry, so he wasn't in fact eating the tail, he was eating the meat placed by the hunter underneath it, to create the illusion that he is consuming his own tail. And for Exhibit B, our upduded friend here admits to putting meat under the tail as well, on the very last frame of the video. Did he do it?
So people are basically not cheating, let's say, but they're putting meat under the tail to make it look like he's eating his own tail, just for the fun, but there's actually no proof that he eats his own tail. I see.
For clout? Or perhaps to perpetuate this misinformation to cause further chaos within the community? Who knows? But it doesn't stop there. Here's another image of Deviljho eating his tail. He's actually eating a pinned hunter instead. Here's a look at the official Monster Hunter wiki. It mentions Deviljho eats his...
Let me see. It sometimes eats from the corpse of a slain monster its own tail or an already attacked monster. I mean, if you're a monster and you eat corpses of other monsters and your tail has been cut off, why would you not eat your own tail? I suppose, logically.
His own tail. Even the wiki has spread misinformation. Is nothing safe? This animation from Caitlin perpetuates this rumor as well. In fact, I remember this GIF being circulated through the internet a lot back in the day. Even NCH Productions show us Deviljho eating his own tail. And who can blame these people? We all...
That was such a cute picture. Let me go back to it. It's like, he's so chubby. And he's like, eating my big chubby tail.
These people. We all thought this to be true until resident lore expert and longtime community member Band Lagiacris on Twitter asked, does anyone actually have footage of Deviljho eating his own tail? Biggest Mandela effect moment in Monster Hunter history, which in turn sparked the entirety of the Monster Hunter community to go on a hunt for the truth, because they've been lied to. Videos left and right, doctored, community posts and animation, memes and word of mouth spread through generations about the fable of Deviljho eating his own tail. Years of lies and deceit that have existed to cause hallucinogenic episodes within the community. Or perhaps Capcom retroactively went back and messed with all the code to delete this phenomenon from reality. Okay, probably not. Essentially, this has been the biggest conspiracy in Monster Hunter history. Seriously, Deviljho was trending on Twitter. He don't belong there. He's busy.
He was trending on Twitter? That's so funny. That's so funny. I mean, I get it. Like, I know the Monster Hunter community now. I get it. I get that you guys would go insane looking for proof of this. But it's so funny that Pickle was trending on Twitter.
Eating stuff. Stuff that doesn't happen to be his tail, it seems. Today in this video, I am going to put this entire community debate to rest. Yes, by the power of Flyann 2, we can put this madness to bed. The community deserves peace after all we've been through these past couple weeks. Let's start from the beginning. The year is 2009. Monster Hunter Tri releases for the Nintendo Wii along with introducing one of the most menacing monsters in the entire series, Deviljho. Deviljho is a very unique monster for many reasons. First off, his form, a T-Rex-like beast adorned with spikes and similar in texture to a pickle. But what distinguishes him even more from every other monster, especially at the time, is his behavior. This freak would invade and terrorize any high rank or above quest depending on the game. He could be summoned out of the ground like a little freak by Kurapeko 2. Nothing is scarier than trying to do a seemingly easy quest and Deviljho coming out of nowhere to increase your heart rate to concerning levels, especially in the older games. Dung bombs weren't as effective as you'd like them to be, unless he was pinning you, of course. This insatiable beast uses an immense amount of energy, especially when he enrages and flexes his muscles to reveal his battle scars, along with spraying his dragon breath all over you. Yes, somehow they gave him that ability as well. Now, because he has to use so much energy, he must have a way to refuel. In fact,
he refuels by eating his tail! See? That's how he refuels, eating his tail. Wow, he looks terrifying to fight. I'm not doing that. Nope.
Deviljho gets tired and hungry so easily that he needs many ways to regain his stamina. He can pin down hunters and feast upon them like mentioned earlier. He can eat popos or small monsters, other large monsters' corpses, even monsters that aren't even dead, like sleeping monsters captured in a trap. Even another sleeping Deviljho. So as you can see,
wait, so if you capture a monster in a trap and he just plods over and goes, ooh, nommies, tasty monster, he'll just start eating on the monster you captured? Even if it's like, oh, he's a cannibal. He's a cannibal Pickle. I see how this goes. He just eats, he consumes all.
Deviljho already displays behavior that makes sense for him to be able to eat his own tail. I mean, he eats everything else, even his own kind. What's stopping him from tasting his own goods? I'd like to quickly go over the main ways that Deviljho eats. What I mean by that is, like I mentioned earlier, Deviljho eats when he's hungry, or more accurately, when he's fatigued. But what makes Deviljho tired? What would make him have the need to eat things, perhaps even something like his own tail? The way it generally works in Monster Hunter is that monsters have a stamina value, ranging from, let's say, around 0 to 1,000. Each action a monster takes uses a certain amount of stamina, however there are certain moves that don't, depending on the monster. Staggering a monster also affects their stamina. Once they hit 0 stamina, they become fatigued, and remain fatigued typically around 2 minutes or whenever they decide to enrage. Eating the tainted meat the hunters can place, or deceive the public with, regains 1,000 stamina for the monster, but in return you usually get some type of effect, sleep, paralysis, etc. So basically, when Deviljho reaches that threshold, he will go eat, and typically that means he will eat anything he can in front of him, and also switch between zones to feast as well. Sometimes there are specific small monsters set up for this to happen, like Deviljho moving to a different area to eat some sort of monster's carcass like a popo. Feasting while zone switching is an important thing to keep in mind when it comes to testing whether or not Deviljho will eat his own tail. And testing is exactly what I did. I went into the goddamn lab. As did every other Monster Hunter fan in existence, it seems. Nothing was more exciting than cracking the code. Being the one to witness Deviljho eat his own tail and having the footage recorded. Honestly, this is reminiscent of pirates venturing off to the Grand Line to find the One Piece. The Deviljho tail eating is real! Of the secret room in Nier that so many people were looking for. A community united for a sole purpose. To find proof of something we believed in for so long. I personally opted to test this out in older Monster Hunter games, since that's when the rumors initially started. I went from 4th gen all the way down to 3rd for popular releases. So Generations, Generations Ultimate, 4 Ultimate, Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, I even tested out the Japan-only portable 3rd. I spent extensive hours testing any different way I possibly could to somehow trigger Deviljho eating his own tail. Basic scenarios where it's on the ground in front of him, making him exhausted and getting rid of everything else on the map, killing—
Wait, this looks super familiar. This 3DS setup. I wonder if this is one that I looked at. I don't know. Which game is this?
monsters in transition zones which his tail resided in, even doing special event quests where you fight multiple Deviljhos in the arena. Even fighting his variant, Savage Deviljho, to see if he acted any different when it came to his tail. And nothing happened. Again, I wasn't the only one extensively testing this. So many other people out there were doing so, and not a single glimpse of behavior that would even allude to Deviljho eating his own tail. All seemed lost. Isn't there something we haven't done? Something—
This is kind of funny. It's like, so, you know, how was your week? What did you do? Oh, you know, I went to work, I went to school, did my homework. This guy's like, nope. I fought Deviljho all day, every day, trying to see him eat his tail. And I'm guessing that the conclusion is, he didn't.
We haven't seen? There was one glimpse of hope. Monster Hunter Tri, Deviljho's original appearance. This game had enough unique mechanics, so maybe, just maybe, something about the way it was designed had a feature in it which would make Deviljho eat his own tail. This is the one and only method of testing that was not available to most people in the Monster Hunter community. Monster Hunter Tri servers shut down in 2013, and all of the high-rank quests were tied to multiplayer, Deviljho included. Thankfully, after 8 years of the online hub Loklak in Monster Hunter Tri being inaccessible, it was able to be explored once again, with the original Deviljho quests. But unless you had a pre-existing save file to get you to Deviljho, you'd have to go through the gauntlet that is grinding Hunter rank points, and the gigantic wall that is soloing Gen Morin to get into high rank. Well, if you weren't able to get in, you could scour old footage of Monster Hunter Tri to see if any of the tail phenomena occurred, which is exactly what I did for hours, scrubbing through countless videos ranging from 20 to 60 views dating back to 2009.
Oh my
I was actually surprised by the sheer amount of footage there was dating back this long into the past.
Dedication.
Guess people really like fighting and recording Deviljho. Unfortunately, there was nearly no footage with Deviljho hanging around his tail, let alone eating it. It was time. There was only one thing left to be done. To enter Loklak itself and fight Deviljho, and finally put this debate to rest. With access to the closed beta of Monster Hunter Tri, I was ready, with the occasional help of other hunters too. My companions and I did everything in our power to cut off his tail and observe his behavior, trying to make something happen. Volcano map, tundra map, deserted island,
like,
hell, we even made him get
tail.
summoned in the sandy plains by Kurapeko. There had to be some way. We gotta believe. We gotta believe. Eat it, Deviljho, eat it! Every second he was near his tail, my heart was racing. Would I be the one to find him consuming his own tail? Put this entire debate to rest? But the soul-crushing reality hits. Even during this battle that has been locked away from us for years in the mystical city of Loklak, that thing in which we seeked was simply not there. At this point in time, the community and myself combined, we've tried everything. We really have. But wait a minute. Take a look at this clip. This was posted in November 3rd in reply to banned Lagiacris. The clip starts and ends exactly as it's shown here.
Tail. One, eat it.
I can't believe it. It's proven! Deviljho can eat his own tail! I was so ecstatic, I recreated everything this guy did to a T. I went to the same area in Portable 3rd, cut off the tail while he was enraged, and waited for him to eat it. Eagerly, I waited for something to happen, and yet nothing. For hours, I tested this. Despite testing similar things before this clip emerged, and even testing in Monster Hunter Tri, nothing happened then, and nothing happened now. No hints of tail eating in sight. If he ate it so easily in this video, why isn't he doing it now for me? And why is this the only person, after weeks of thousands of people searching, with a tail eating video so simply done? And why did this person cut the video off right when Deviljho was eating it? And then it hit me. Look closely at the tail here. You may see something poking out. This guy is running Portable 3rd on an emulator, and on emulators you can do insane amounts of tampering. I was in a Discord call with SuperRad when we were trying to figure out how exactly this occurred, because frankly, something was very off about this clip. If you notice in this video, Deviljho comes up to the shock trap before the hunter severs his tail. By creating save states, he can figure out the exact area the tail will drop into, and test his scheme endlessly. He can place meat exactly where he needs to because he knows where the tail is going to land. And it's simple to know because the tail falls on the exact area where the shock trap is placed on the ground. A simple target. But now you're asking, what meat are you talking about? There's nothing on the ground. Oh, but there is. SuperRad and I took some time to learn how texture swapping works on PPSPP, the PSP emulator. That makes me sound like I'm saying pee-pee poo-poo and sound like a dumbass. That aside, it is actually incredibly easy.
I cannot believe how much effort this guy went to recreate, to try and recreate the moment. I can't believe how much effort the original person went to show Deviljho eating his tail. But now this guy's like, I will do it too!
If you cut out the meat texture and replace the file, the meat is completely gone. Invisible. Back to the white pixel. If I cut out the texture of the meat in a way that wasn't completely perfect, most likely how this hunter did here, I got the same exact pixel to show up when the meat is beneath the tail. I couldn't believe it. And something to note, on this part of the map, the ground is completely flat. Nothing else could possibly be clipping into it. And if you notice in this footage, Deviljho is lined up exactly where the pixel is, not at the center of the tail, to eat it. And in the footage provided by this hunter, who refuses to show more, the video cuts out before Deviljho fully eats the meat, which would have made the meat and the pixel disappear. No way. No way. He's eating the tail, dude. It has been the most elaborate hoax by far, but it didn't stop us from getting to the truth. I'm 99% certain that this is how it played out, but in the very slim chance that somehow this is real footage of Deviljho eating his own tail, why did the video cut off there? Why didn't we see the hunter's inventory to see whether or not he brought meat? And most importantly, why is this the only legitimate clip in existence, despite all of this time and all of these other fake clips? All of these questions, coupled with the fact that they were using an emulator, makes this a closed case to me. If Deviljho in fact eats his own tail in this game, I assure you this would not be the only clip, especially if we're going with the narrative that countless hunters remember witnessing Deviljho eat his own tail. Would it really only be possible in the Japan-only release of Monster Hunter Portable 3rd? And ultimately dragged into a decade-long ruse. Deviljho cannot in fact eat his own tail. He ate everything except the one thing that mattered to us. It is incredible how adamantly so many people will swear that they saw it happen. I have seen hundreds of people defend this myth and swear on their life that they saw it happen right in front of their eyes. I've never seen so much confidence from people on something that simply has no evidence. Could it all just be from being misled? From word of mouth or from seeing doctored footage? I think something else to consider is the fact that in most Monster Hunter games, especially back then, small monsters are client-sided, meaning if one died and were to be feasted upon, perhaps it could appear that he was eating his own tail instead of a monster on someone else's screen. Back in the day, there were a lot of strats to put meat everywhere on the ground around Deviljho as well, so maybe we only saw what we wanted to see. That, coupled with all of the propaganda we have been fed to us, has led to one of the greatest lies, if not only in Monster Hunter, but in gaming, to have ever run its course. I don't think we're going to be looking at
the biggest lie in gaming ever! Does a pickle eat their own tail?
Deviljho's tails the same way ever again after this. I think it's important to note that parts of the community will never accept the fact that Deviljho can't, in fact, eat its own tail. Perhaps because it's fun searching for this and having it as a myth in the community, or perhaps they truly believe with all of their heart they saw what they saw. Even if John Capcom spoke on a podium and said that Deviljho tail eating isn't real, they wouldn't buy it. But I believe this community deserves closure, and I believe today I've laid out the groundwork to definitively disprove Deviljho eating his own tail. And trust me, I would love to be wrong on this. Long ago, I believed in it too. Every second I spent testing this, every second he was near his tail, I had hope. But now, it's time to let go. Is there a way to move forward from this? I think the only thing we can hope for in the future is Capcom to acknowledge this and give Deviljho the ability to eat his own tail in future games. I think it would be a perfect way for this story to end, and something great for the community to bear witness to. Similar to the secret Bluepoint games added to Shadow of the Colossus, based on the community's search for its mystery. If we boot up a new Monster Hunter game one day, and we witness Deviljho eating his own tail, I think it would be truly special for all of us. But for now, this insatiable beast remains consuming everything in its path, except himself.
I think that was so funny. I forgot to say before I started, this was Monster Hunter's Biggest Conspiracy by flyann? Flyann? Flyann 2. Do I pronounce that in a different way? Flyann? Flyann? I apologize for butchering your name, oh my goodness. I love this idea that the community is so obsessed with him eating his own tail. I still stand by what I said earlier. Do you have to see it for it to be part of the lore? You don't, I don't think. Yeah, if it's part of the lore, you don't have to see it to believe it. But what does everybody else think?